Really excited about my guest today, who was the president, now is the chairman of Black Lives Matter in the New York chapter. And it is the most necessary conversation to have. Hawk Newsome, welcome to the Candace Owens Show.
Thanks for having me, sister.
Have you ever sat across from literally Hitler?
I am now.
Right. It's a very important word.
That's it.
And I talk about this all the time because I think the biggest problem facing the Black community is not police brutality by any regards. It's like that. If I had to make a list of 100 things that were impacting the Black community, police brutality wouldn't even be on the top 100. I think it's a scam. It's a leftist scam. Hold on, let me finish. It's a leftist scam. I truly believe it's a leftist scam. It's not helping. It's not helping them helping whatsoever. And it's actually reversing and harming our community more, because what the left does all the time is they seize a new show pony that they want us to be obsessed with and looking at all the time, every 4 years, so that they can control our vote and they can make us emotional. And in 2016, it was the myth of, and when I say myth of police brutality, I mean that when you look at the rate, white men and Hispanic men are being shot down at a higher rate, not more of them, a higher rate than Black men, okay? So unless there's a Hispanic Lives Matter, so that means to me, and the timing of it is always suspicious, when all of a sudden we're supposed to be in the street protesting, it's right before election cycles, they release some information and Black people are supposed to be outraged. Our community is too emotional. Point blank, period. We have to start to be rational and say, Now, I know that right now is election cycle, and every single night on CNN, they're showing me images of Black men dying. Why would that be? Why is it that after Trump won, those images magically went away? Nobody cared about Black Lives Matter movement. I can't find CNN doing all the specials. It was like every day, prime time was a Black Lives Matter thing. Trump won, they were like, all right, bye. Then they went on to rape, and they went on to Me Too, and they went on to trying to stop this and that. And I think that is the biggest problem in the Black community, is that we don't realize that we have been emotionally manipulated, and it's all for votes. Nobody cares.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Do you know the names of any white or Hispanic people that were killed by police?
Do I what?
Do you know the names of any white or Hispanic people that were killed unarmed by police?
Oh my God. Len Baez.
Do I know why I'm asking you this?
Why?
If your
Anthony
issue
Baez.
is police brutality, why are you making it? And we know for a fact that Black men are not brutalized at a higher rate than white people or Hispanic people. Why not just make it a movement about the things that go wrong in the police?
Here's the thing. When Black people get their rights, everybody gets rights. You know history. When we got the right to vote, everybody got the right to vote. When we were able to sit at the front of the bus, everybody was there. When we went to college, everyone went. We had a trailblazers. Not only do we set trends in culture, in music, in fashion, but also in law. Like, this is what we do. So let us kick this door in. Any marches? When was the last time you saw something burned down?
This is what bothers me. You have such a platform to hit. The biggest issue facing the Black community today is father absence. They broke down our families. They removed the fathers from the home. Barack Obama tells you what happens when you remove the fathers from the home. You have
Stop misinforming people. Stop misinforming people.
I'm not. Let me finish. How am I?
Black people.
It's father absence.
It's the food that we eat.
No.
It's the food we eat.
It's father absence.
And this is a correctable problem. It's the sugar. It's the grease. It's these fast food companies and these soda companies poisoning us. And how is this not only a Black problem? Republicans care about health care and their tax dollars going toward that. They should put money in getting Black people healthier, because all they do is poison us and promote these sugary drinks, these sugary foods, and shove them down our throats. And Black people walking around, their legs are swollen. My dad died on his 7th heart attack. That's what's killing us. That's the biggest form of racism. If you want to talk about the absence of fathers, then you look at the American government putting all these fathers in jails at disproportionate rates. Black people go to jail at higher rates than white people.
That is correct. I can explain to you how that's related to father absence if you listen.
To children. And I don't mean to cut you off. I just get excited. You crazy, I'm crazy too, sister.
Everything is related to father absence. So the one thing that they did strategically after the 50s, when LBJ came in and said, okay, he's on the record, LBJ, Democrat president, saying, these have the right to vote, we have to give them something a little bit to make them think that we're helping when they're actually hurting us. So they gave us the welfare programs. What did the welfare programs do? They successfully broke down the black family. The single motherhood rate in the 1960s was at 23% in our community. The single motherhood rate today is at 74%. Barack Obama actually gave a brilliant speech talking about what father absence actually does. If you want to kill an entire community, all you have to do is remove the fathers. Okay, that kid is 20 times more likely to go to jail, 6 times more likely to drop out of high school. Everything that we're talking about here can be related back to father absence.
Took them out of the
welfare system actually created an initiative to women. We will give you more money. It's true. This is not a myth.
How did they enforce it? How did they enforce it? I grew up in this.
They incentivized it.
I grew up in
They
this.
incentivized it.
You know they would do pop-up.
This is why they're having 5, 6, 7 kids, and because they want more. They want more
they
money.
would do pop-up
to make sure the guy doesn't
to make sure that the men were out of the home.
Yes.
Now, who did this? Who did this?
Whose policies were this?
Whose were they?
Who are the people that are fighting?
Whose were they?
LBJ and the Great Society Act.
Okay, in what country?
What do you mean, what country?
What country did this happen? In America.
Yeah.
So
you're agreeing with me.
So these
when you
are
talk about
systems.
Black Lives Matter, talk about putting fathers back in the home.
You think people don't, sis?
No, I really don't.
You think people don't?
Like
this happens consistently.
What do you have to lose? Finally, kept it real. You're losing. What do you have to lose? On the other side, Democrats, we're going to give you more. The Black Caucus stood and applauded more food stamps. The welfare system is harming the Black community. Strategically, it was oppressive. It was oppressive when it came into shape.
You got this.
No,
you got this.
It was oppressive.
She's admitting that oppression exists. She's admitting.
I have said 1,000 times,
man.
Black people, you get in the room, they'll tell you Republicans are racist. I'm like, the Democrats created every oppressive system that we talk about when we say, oh, prisons, blah, blah, blah. That's because the fathers moved from the home. Oh, food stamps, welfare, blah, blah, blah.
What if the Republicans, okay, where have the Republicans failed Black people?
That they haven't done anything to correct it.
Right? Not only did the Republicans give up around the 1960s on getting the Black vote, but they have actively sought to oppress the Black vote.
Okay, so
you look at most of these the voting issues. You look at voter suppression, right? And it's Republicans behind this. Now, you said if I was right, you'd admit it.
No, I'm just asking you to explain it further because I want people that are hearing you to hear.
There are laws like you have to do 3 black flips, 2 somersaults, and a moonwalk.
You mean have an ID?
Yeah, an ID.
So do you think Black people? Let me ask you a question.
Do
you think Black people are too stupid to get a driver's license?
Why would you call Black people?
Because to me, I'm offended that people call that.
Black.
No, I'm asking you something.
Black.
I'm asking you something. I'm offended when people say to me that oppresses us. I'm like, I don't know a single Black person that doesn't have ID. You can't drive. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes. You can't buy alcohol. Don't think we're so stupid that we can't figure out how to get ID. It's insulting to call that voter suppression.
Okay.
If Black people can't figure out how to get ID, we have a way bigger problem. We're not that stupid. I will not accept that we're too stupid to get ID. I don't know a single. I got cousins that live in the projects. Everybody has ID. You can't work without ID. You can't work without ID.
I get it. Yes, you can.
You can't work.
Yes,
you can't work unless you're working under the table. You got to have some form of ID when they run your social security number and all that stuff. You have to give them something to work with.
Actually, you don't. You just go in there. You give them a social. You don't have to have your physical.
Yes, you do. They have to make a copy of it. They have to make a
copy.
Not your social security card, of your ID.
Do you live in? Do you live amongst these people? This is why people call you name. You speak sometimes, and I'm saying this from a very earnest place. You talk like a person who hates Black people.
No, I'm talking like if I was your mother, you need to get up off your ass and get an ID.
Listen.
We need that. We need a little more people telling us to get up off our asses and do stuff. We need to stop being handed excuses and start being told, you know how to do this. Figure out what you need to do. You are a American. It's not hard. You got Google now. How can I get my ID? Okay. You cannot objectively say that you think that Republicans have done more harms to Black than Democrats. Can you?
This is the problem, my sister.
But I want to know. I just. First off, we're talking about the Black community. I don't want to talk about illegal immigrants because until the Black community is fixed, I do not care on the record about a single illegal immigrant. You want me to care about a child separated from its mother at the border because their mother was doing something illegal and got caught? Does anybody cry when black parents get locked up and they have to be separated from their children for years? Okay, so stop. You can miss me entirely with the illegal immigrant argument.
I do.
Especially because legal immigration negatively impacts who, first and foremost? Black men between the ages of 18 and 21. So asking the black community to stand up for illegal immigrants is like asking me to take a shovel and dig my own grave. Not doing it, okay? Won't do it. We'll give no focus to illegal immigrants until the 3.9 million black kids that are in poverty are brought above the poverty line. I would like to see a system where we stop allowing Mexicans, because they are geographically positioned, to sprint into this border and demand rights and get on welfare. There are so many people in Africa via a merit-based system who are more than worthy of having an American citizenship. Those numbers are so low because of illegal immigration, and they're coming and jumping over the border. So I'm actually very pro merit-based African countries, people that are trying to be doctors. I'm sick of this rate of 2% that come from Africa every year. So that's actually the biggest reason I support the wall, is because I don't think we have enough African immigrants in this country. MAGA hat in the projects.
You are a walking MAGA hat.
Bob, he called me a walking MAGA hat. He called me, that's really funny.
It is. It's whatever. But like, what's so bad about socialism?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not a socialist. What's so bad about socialism?
And this is the thing I talk about.
I just want to know.
The black community's got to understand economics.
I just want to know.
Let's see. It's killed 100 million people in the last 100 years. Okay, it's been tried on every continent in the last 100 years, and it just ends in people dying in communism. It's being tried actively right now in Venezuela. People are fleeing Venezuela. The average citizen has lost 18 pounds.
You know what?
But hey,
you know what?
Let's try it in America.
Right.
Let's try it in America.
You're right. You know. The reality of it is, if it's triggering and it's traumatic and it's symbolic of 400 years of oppression, then it should be done away with. No one has effectively addressed the oppression of black people in this country to date, and this is what we are doing at this table.
So this, I believe, this is really where I stand. I believe the black community can do it without government handouts. I'm insulted by the insinuation that black people aren't smart enough to figure out how to get ID. I think we're overly sensitive.
You're harping on that.
Hold on. I'm not. I think we're overly sensitive. You're right. But I'm just saying, I believe we're overly sensitive, and that because we are overly sensitive, our emotions are able to be harnessed by people that just want political advantage over others. And that is why we are seeing people that are demonized and called racist. And if we don't start to think clearly and set aside emotion and have conversations, and this is really what Black Values, just conferences. We talk about abortion. We talk about all these different issues.
What's Brexit?
The black exit.
From what?
The left, Democrat Party.
And going where?
Independent. Mm-hmm. On your mark, get set. Hawk Newsom's 2 minutes.
We are one, and as one society, we'll never be okay unless the least of us is okay. We can't leave people behind. There's no reason that the value of $1 should be worth more than the value of a human life. I'm not saying that people shouldn't achieve whatever they want in life, but there shouldn't be people starving in America. There shouldn't be hunger in America. And for God's sakes, there shouldn't be racism in America. People have the opportunity now to stop playing games with systemic oppression and really eradicate it. You eradicate it through institutions. You improve our schools in a real way. If you want black people to stop, quote unquote, relying on the government, then you teach them how to fish instead of giving them fish. If you want peace in our communities, then you empower those organizations that are doing peace work and employing ex-gang members to go in there and mediate differences. And I'd say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I live by 2 codes. I live by the Bible and the Constitution, and I believe that both of them are the foundation to a bigger, a beautiful, a more beautiful, a better America, we can do away with our past once and for all. That's why it keeps coming up, because we've never done away with it officially. We can do away with our wretched, cursed past, and we can build a beautiful future. I invite all of you to do that with me.
I mean,